Hi, I have a long rambling answer for Carol on this question. I don't get it. We have a dim sun and also a sun simulator. This is hard for me to understand, believe. And sometimes Dr. Claudia Albers is hard to understand, I agree. So I'm just going to go through some of my old footage and see what I got. Well, this one, it's a big white ball in the sky, and you can see the sun. This one's got these weird lens, some kind of lens thing on it. Now that the sun will not make a lens on one side of it. Anyway, I've been a welder for like 40 years, and even when I started welding when I was a kid, I would look at the sun through the lenses because it was just interesting. And there was no big white ball 40 years ago. The sun, when you put your arm out, it was about as big as your pinky thumbnail. I mean your fingernail on your pinky. And now it's just a huge big white blob. And I find that rather suspicious since I've been looking at it for that long. I'll go up to December 11th. I think it was this one. Now look at that. That is just a big blob. It's just a big blob. Here and the little spot always indicates the size of the sun. So that's the size of the sun, and so it's still emitting energy, but it's not enough to lighten up the sky, and that's why they got this big light bulb up here. So everybody thinks it's light out is normal. And also, there's UV coming through the atmosphere now, and I think that might be from this light bulb, because we never used to have UV come through the Earth's atmosphere. You look at EPA, they'll say no UVC ever makes it through. But I measure it almost every day, well, once a week anyway. So that is rather odd also. Not that the government agencies are lying, because that's what they always do. That's not the point. And these rays coming out of the sun, there's some kind of laser system that is in this simulator, or these many simulators that are up there. And why would the sun shoot out a ray? I mean, that makes no sense. No sense whatsoever. The sun is not it's a big ball. It's not a directional light. It shoots out light everywhere. Big rays of light coming out of it. Chemtrails are all part of this too. Cover up the sky. With all that white chemical up there and the white light shining on there, everything seems brighter than it really is. Oh, I'm not doing very good at finding this stuff. I need to put more dates in the front. This one shows objects moving in front of the sun that are not planets. I mean, the planets we know of. And about rainbows. Rainbows always, my whole life, the sun has to be behind you. The sun's behind you, the drizzle is in front of you, it's a beautiful rainbow. Well, that doesn't work anymore. Look at this. There's rainbow towards the the light in the sky. That's not the sun. Towards the light in the sky, there's a rainbow up there. That's just not normal. It's not like it was in the past. Now this one's really good. I said it was blue angels because I was joking, and I think people actually believed me and said, "Oh look, the blue angels were flying over Portland."
A new record, 4 chemtrails, 1, 2.
These are chem planes all dumping their shit out because they're all, you know, class A male personalities, and they just wanted to have some fun, so they flew together and dumped their crap. It's not the Blue Angels. That was a joke on my part. So they were just hammering, having fun, you know how young males do when they're planes, because they're so special. Another wild, that's not the sun. It's a big white light in the sky. All these are big white lights in the sky. That's not the sun. Sorry, this is sort of a rambling explanation, I know, but they're easier to find when I'm just picking them out. April. Oh, this was a good one. This is good. Okay. This is the Sun Simulator in action. If you think the sun pulses white, well, I don't think so. Look at it pulsing. I'm not doing anything with the camera. I'm just pointing it. Look at that. So I caught that too. I've seen this a lot on the internet. But that is just not the sun. Come on, give me a break. Look at all the rays coming out of it. And the way it's flashing, that's just something wrong with the program. That's all it can be. Something just screwed up, or they're overlapping, and there's 3 of them there. I don't know. So that's not the sun. It's not the sun. Sorry. Now the sun's still up there. It's just dim. It's just dimmer than it used to be. And you can almost see it. You can almost see the yellow at sunrise. That's the only time you can see yellow. You can see a little yellow at sunrise all the time. Because I think that's, you know, as strong as the sun is, it's still sort of there, but it's not the way it used to be. Well, that's for sure. May. And then got some infrared ones, I think. Which I missed, I guess. Got some Fukushima stuff in here, but I figure we'll starve to death before we die of radiation. So I don't worry about that one as much anymore. Yeah, I guess I'll just look. Oh, this one's interesting. I'm just going to listen to this one to further clog the channel.
Represents the length from the sun to the earth, which is 94.5 million. It changes a little bit, you know. So the light rays come out straight lines from the sun. So let's say they come out from either side of the sun, the right and left sides. And then the light goes straight.
And it's too much trouble for YouTube to play back my...
Which is this little black dot. And Earth's not even that big, but I had to make it that big so you could see it. It's probably a little smaller. So those rays coming from the right side and the left side of that sun way down there that you can't even see will strike the Earth at similar angles. They can only be off as much as the right side and left side of the sun, so you can see that's not going to be much difference. They say it's the most it can be is 1.5 degrees. And here's another one.
So then if you look at pictures like this, is that angle is over 90. So how can the sun be over 90-degree angle with the light if you can only do it, if it only can change 1.5 degrees? So it's not the sun. That's the explanation. And let's see. Anybody still watching? That would be questionable. Now, I had a camera I had an iPad facing the sun until it burned out from the heat, but I did figure out that I could never figure out what all these little spots in the window are. Why are there all these little circles? Here's that one lens flare thing again. I could never figure out why are there so many spots on the glass and all these little rectangles. Well, that's all the different lenses in the lens array. It's all because there's a whole bunch of them, so they're all hitting at a slightly different angle on the window. If you don't look through the window, you never see this. So I'm so glad I did this for a while. And what's this spot? I mean, come on. It's just it's not round, it's not yellow, it's not small. So this really helped me figure out that it's definitely a sun simulator in my own head. It's just, you can't have this many little circles, and it's just not reasonable. It's a lens array. There's all kinds of lenses and all kinds of lights in the sun simulator, artificial sun. And then I look at the strength of the sun sometimes, and it, as Dr. Albert shows too, it's constantly getting weaker and weaker. It's January 3rd. Oh, here you go. This just shows the difference in the strength of the sun in a few years. 4 years difference. 2011. So this is as far back as I can go because they don't want me to be able to check these that's 8 years solar minimums and maximums. Because if you go back too far, you have too much information. These cut out all kinds of stuff. Solar minimums and maximums. Because if you go back too far, you have too much information. So they can sky now. So it must be the difference. Much brighter. Why is it duller? I don't understand. And then this one, anyway, so the sun is dimming more and more, and this one is the best. This is the best, and I forget who this is from. Jeff P. This is Jeff P's. Just wanted to show a picture from Jeff. Look at this reflection. Here's the sun. It's reflecting off, I don't know, a car or something over here, and this is the reflection. That is not the sun. That is very good evidence, and I've been looking for this. I've been looking at reflections, and I see a little bit, but I haven't caught anything this good. Anyway, that's just that's one of the better actual evidence, observation. If you have new observations, you got to come up with new theories. This is a new observation. You got to have a new theory. You got to think about stuff. And I'm not bitching at anybody. I'm just trying to get it straight in my own mind better also. Okay. That's enough rambling, I think.